All right, so me and Sarah, we'd been together for 3 solid years. Not like high school sweethearts, but we met right after college, hit it off, and it felt real. You know, we talked about everything, had our stupid inside jokes, knew each other's coffee orders by heart. She was smart, funny, gorgeous, the whole package. I genuinely thought she was the one. We'd even idly browsed Zillow a few times, laughing about dream houses we couldn't afford. The future felt bright, man. Then there's Jake, my best friend since kindergarten. We've been through thick and thin, broken bones, first beers, terrible teenage bands, wingmanning each other, before Sarah, obviously. He's like a brother. He was stoked when Sarah and I got together, always saying how perfect we were for each other. The three of us hung out a ton, game nights, barbecues, movie marathons. It was a comfortable, happy little triangle, or so I thought. Lately, and I mean very lately, like the last month or so, I started getting this itch, not a real doubt about Sarah, more like a dumb, insecure little voice in the back of my head. You know how sometimes things are too good, and you start wondering if it's real? Yeah, that was me. Sarah was amazing, supportive, loving, but a tiny idiotic part of me just wanted, I don't know, some grand gesture of reassurance. It sounds so stupid now typing it out. So about 2 weeks ago, I'm hanging with Jake, couple of beers in, and I voiced this stupid nebulous feeling. Dude, I said, swirling my beer. Sometimes I just wonder, like, how much Sarah really loves me, you know? Like if push came to shove. Jake, bless his usually sensible heart, was probably a bit too influenced by the IPAs. Man, she adores you. Anyone can see that. What are you tripping about? I don't know, man. It's just everything's so smooth. Maybe too smooth? I was grasping at straws, I see that now. And then the A-bomb of bad ideas dropped. I don't even remember who said it first, me or him. It just sort of materialized in the beer-fueled haze. What if one of us slurred? We like tested it a beat. How? The other asked. I don't know, like what if I pretended to break up with her? Just to see her reaction, see if she fights for it. Jake, instead of slapping me upside the head and calling me a moron, actually considered it. Whoa, dude, that's intense. But like, I get it. You want to see that raw emotion, that don't leave me vibe. Exactly, I said, latching onto his validation like a drowning man. And you could be there, like, for support for her afterwards. And then, boom, I come back in. Just kidding, babe. I love you more than anything. God, I'm cringing so hard I think I'm going to implode. We actually workshopped this. The plan was, I'd pick a small, insignificant fight, escalate it, and then break up with her. Jake would happen to call Sarah shortly after, hearing she's upset, and offer to come over as a friend to comfort her. Then, after an hour or so of her hopefully being devastated and telling Jake how much she loved me and couldn't live without me, I'd waltz back in with flowers, reveal the prank, and we'd all laugh, and I'd feel super secure. Worst plan ever. So, fast forward to last Friday, D-Day, or rather Dumbass Day. I picked a fight over something monumentally stupid. I think it was about her leaving her shoes in the hallway. Standard couple bickering, usually resolved in 5 minutes. But this time, I dug in. You always do this, Sarah. It's like you don't even respect our space. I yelled, feeling like a total fraud. Her eyes widened. Whoa, Mike, where is this coming from? I just forgot I was tired. That's always the excuse, isn't it? I pushed, my heart hammering. This felt awful. I just, I can't do this anymore, Sarah. I think, I think we need to break up. The words hung in the air, heavy and disgusting. Sarah just stared at me. Her face, usually so expressive, went completely blank. Then, a single tear traced a path down her cheek. Then another. She didn't scream, didn't beg, didn't argue. She just deflated. Okay, she whispered, her voice barely audible. If that's what you want, Mike. My stomach dropped. This wasn't the reaction I'd scripted. I expected hysterics, pleading, not quiet acceptance. Before I could process, she just nodded, turned, walked into the bedroom, and came out a few minutes later with her overnight bag. She kept one for spontaneous sleepovers when we first started dating, and it just kind of stayed. She didn't even look at me. She just walked out the door, closing it softly behind her. I stood there, stunned. What the actual fuck? I muttered. This was not going according to plan. My phone buzzed. Jake. Phase 2 initiated, his text read. I called him. Dude, something's wrong. She just left. No fight, no tears, just gone. What? Seriously? Okay, well, I'll call her now. Stick to the plan. Maybe she's just in shock. She'll break down to me, man, don't worry. I don't know, Jake, this feels bad. Trust me, bro. Give it an hour. She'll be missing you like crazy. So, I waited. The longest hour of my life. I paced. I replayed the fight. I started to feel sick. What if she didn't want me back? What if this idiotic prank actually ended us? Finally, my phone rang. Okay, dude, I said, trying to sound breezy. What's the verdict? Is she a mess? Ready for the grand reconciliation? Silence on Jake's end. Just for a second. But it felt like an eternity. Jake, you there? Yeah, Mike, I'm here. At her friend Chloe's place. Sarah's here. Okay? And then, is she crying? Asking about me? Another pause. My blood ran cold. Mike, we need to talk. But maybe not over the phone. His voice was weird, flat. What do you mean? Jake, what did she say? Just tell me. My voice was rising in panic. He sighed. It was a heavy, weary sigh. She's upset. Yeah, but not in the way you think. What the hell does that mean, Jake? Look, man, she told me some stuff. After you broke up with her, she called me like we planned. But she was surprisingly calm. Sad, but calm. And then, she kind of confessed something to me. My heart was a lead weight in my chest. Confessed what? I whispered. Mike, she said. She said this whole thing. Your breakup, it feels like a sign. A sign? A sign for what? She said. She's been having feelings for someone else for a while now. The air punched out of my lungs. What? Who the fuck is it? Jake was quiet for a moment, and in that moment, a horrifying, sickening realization dawned on me. No, it couldn't be Jake, I said, my voice trembling. Don't fucking do this to me. Who is it? His voice was barely a whisper. It's me, Mike. She said she's had feelings for me. The world tilted. I think I actually stumbled. Yoshi, are you fucking kidding me, Jake? No, Mike. I'm not. I had no idea. I swear, I'm as shocked as you are. She said when you broke up with her, as much as it hurt, a part of her also felt relieved. Because she's been so confused about her feelings for me, and for you, and this kind of made the decision for her. I couldn't breathe. My best friend, my girlfriend. My stupid, idiotic prank had just blown up in my face with the force of a nuclear bomb. So what now? I choked out. Are you t- No, Mike, no. Nothing's happened. I'm I'm freaking out here, man. I told her I needed to talk to you. I didn't know what to say to her. This is insane. Insane? It's fucking insane. Jake, you were supposed to comfort her for me, not be the guy she's secretly in love with. I know, Mike. I know. I feel like such an asshole. We both do. This prank, God, it was so stupid. You think? I was screaming now. So what? She's just done with me and in love with you? Just like that? She said. She said she's been fighting it for months. Feeling guilty. She said, seeing us together, me and you, our friendship, made her happy but also complicated things for her. She never wanted to hurt either of us. Well, congratulations, mission fucking accomplished. I slammed my phone down, cutting him off. I just stood there in my living room, the scene of my idiotic breakup, and the world just crumbled. My girlfriend of 3 years didn't just accept our breakup, she was relieved because she was in love with my best friend. And my best friend was the one who delivered the news. I don't know what to do. I haven't spoken to either of them since that call. My apartment feels so empty. Every little thing reminds me of Sarah. And every time I think of Jake, I feel this white-hot rage mixed with a profound sense of betrayal. Was this always there? Was their friendship different? Did I miss signs? Or did our catastrophically moronic prank just rip the lid off of Pandora's box of feelings that would have otherwise stayed buried? I keep replaying every interaction between them, every laugh, every shared glance. Were they cues I was too blind to see? Or am I just torturing myself? I know the prank was my idea, or at least I co-signed it heavily. I own that. I am a colossal idiot. But this outcome is beyond anything I could have ever imagined. Reddit, what in the fresh hell do I even do now? Is there any coming back from this? For any of us? TLDR, my best friend and I planned a prank where I'd break up with my GF to see if she'd fight for our relationship. She calmly accepted the breakup, then confessed to my best friend, who was supposed to be comforting her for me, that she'd been in love with him for months and our breakup felt like a sign. My life is in shambles. Update 1 week later. Holy crap, you guys. First off, thanks for all the comments. Some of you rightly called me an idiot, deserved, some offered sympathy, appreciated, and some shared your own horror stories, which weirdly made me feel slightly less alone in this fresh hell. Reading through everything has been a lot. So it's been a week since the great prank apocalypse, a week of barely sleeping, existing on stale cereal and regret, and replaying every moment of the last 3 years in my head, looking for clues I might have missed. The silence from both Sarah and Jake was deafening for the first few days. I didn't reach out. I was too angry, too hurt, too everything. My apartment felt like a mausoleum. Her side of the closet, the way she left her favorite mug on the counter, it was all just a constant stabbing reminder. Then 3 days ago, Jake showed up at my door, unannounced. I almost slammed it in his face. Not gonna lie, he looked like shit. Dark circles under his eyes, hadn't shaved, basically my twin in misery. Mike, can I please just talk to you? For 5 minutes, he said, his voice hoarse. I hesitated. A big part of me wanted to scream at him, maybe even punch him, not my proudest thought, but grief does weird things. But another smaller part, the part that remembered 20 plus years of friendship, just felt tired. I stepped aside and let him in. He sat on the edge of my couch, the one Sarah and I picked out together. The irony wasn't lost on me. Look, man, he started. I am so sorry about all of this. The prank, it was the dumbest fecking idea either of us ever had, and I'm sorry I went along with it. I should have told you it was a terrible idea from the jump. Yeah, you think? I said, my voice flat. A little late for that, isn't it? I know. And about Sarah, Mike, I swear to God I had no idea. Not a clue. When she told me, I was floored. I felt sick. So, what? You're not into her? I asked, a tiny pathetic flicker of hope igniting, which I immediately tried to extinguish because hope is a dangerous thing right now. He ran a hand through his already messy hair. That's the fecked up part, man. When she said it, after the initial shock, there was this tiny, horrible part of me that, I don't know, wasn't entirely surprised. Not surprised that she felt that way, but that the idea of it wasn't repulsive. My stomach clenched. What are you saying, Jake? I'm saying, he looked me dead in the eye, that I've always thought Sarah was amazing. Of course I did. She was with my best friend. I admired her, respected her, but I never ever let my mind go there. She was yours, off limits. End of story. But when she said those words, it was like a door I never even knew existed creaked open a tiny bit in my head, and I hate myself for it. Betrayal, fresh and sharp, stabbed me again. It wasn't just that she had feelings for him. It was that he, even subconsciously, might have reciprocated on some level, or at least was open to the idea now that it was out there. So you're telling me my prank didn't just reveal her feelings, it might have awakened yours? I asked incredulously. No, not awakened. More like, forced me to acknowledge a thought I would have otherwise buried deep down and never looked at. Mike, I don't want this. I don't want to hurt you. You're my brother. His eyes were pleading. Some brother, I muttered. We sat in silence for a while, The air was thick with unspoken things, with years of friendship hanging by a thread. "What about Sarah?" I finally asked. "Have you talked to her since that night?" "Yeah," he admitted, looking down. "A couple of times. She's a wreck, Mike. She feels terrible. She genuinely didn't want this to happen. She said she was trying to suppress her feelings for me, hoping they'd go away. She thought she was being loyal to you by not acting on them, loyal by emotionally cheating and then dumping me the second she got an out." I scoffed. "It wasn't like that, according to her. She said your breakup just brought everything to a head. It forced her to confront what she'd been avoiding." "Convenient," I said bitterly. "She wants to talk to you, Mike. To explain. To apologize." "I don't know if I can, Jake. Not yet." "I get it." He stood up. "Look, I needed to tell you this. To your face. I'm not going to pursue anything with Sarah. I can't. Not after this. Our friendship, your friendship, it means too much to me to throw away over this mess." He sounded sincere, but the damage was done. The trust was shattered. Even if he didn't pursue her, the knowledge that she wanted him and that he could want her hung between us like a toxic cloud. "I need time, Jake," I said. "A lot of time. Take all you need, man." He walked to the door, paused. "For what it's worth, I'm truly sorry. For my part in all of it." And then he left. So that's where things stand with Jake. He says he won't pursue Sarah. But can I ever really trust that? Can I ever look at him the same way? As for Sarah, I got a long, rambling email from her a couple of days ago, full of apologies, explanations about her confused feelings, how she never meant to hurt me, how she treasured our time together but felt this irresistible pull towards Jake that she tried to fight. She said our prank, as horrible as it was, inadvertently liberated her from her turmoil, though she's devastated by the fallout. She wants to meet, to talk in person. I haven't replied. I don't know what to say. Part of me wants to scream at her, to demand answers, to understand how I could have been so blind. Another part of me just wants to curl up and forget any of this ever happened. The comments here have given me a lot to think about. Some of you said I dodged a bullet, that her feelings for Jake would have come out eventually. Maybe you're right. Others said Jake is just as culpable. I'm leaning that way too, even if he claims ignorance. I'm still a mess. The anger is still there, but it's being slowly replaced by this profound sadness and a weird sense of emptiness. The future I imagined with Sarah is gone. My friendship with Jake is mangled at best. I guess my next step is deciding whether to talk to Sarah. Do I need that closure, or will it just make things worse? Thanks for listening, Reddit. This sucks. It really, really sucks. TLDR Update 1. Best friend Jake came over, apologized for the prank, and swore he had no idea about GF's Sarah feelings, but admitted that her confession made him realize he could see her that way, though he claims he won't pursue her. Sarah sent a long apology email, wants to talk. I'm still broken and unsure what to do next. Friendship and relationship both feel irrevocably damaged. Update 1 month after update 1. Alright, Reddit. It's been a while, a little over a month since my last update. About 6 weeks since DM Bass Day. And man, what a fucking month it's been. A lot of you asked for another update, so here it is. Strap in, because the roller coaster took a few more dips and turns. First off, thanks again for the insane amount of support and advice. Seriously, reading through comments, even the harsh ones, helped me process this whole nightmare in ways I didn't expect. It made me feel less like I was losing my goddamn mind in isolation. So after Jake's visit and Sarah's email, I spent about another week stewing. I was oscillating between rage, profound sadness, and a weird, numb apathy. I reread Sarah's email about 100 times. Each time a different sentence would jump out and piss me off or make my heart ache. Her talk of an irresistible pull towards Jake while she was supposedly happy with me. Gut punch. Her saying our prank liberated her. Felt like a cop-out. Eventually, I decided I had to talk to her. Not for her, but for me. I needed to look her in the eye and hear it. I needed to understand, if that was even possible, how the woman I thought I was going to marry could do this. We agreed to meet at a neutral coffee shop, public place, less chance of a massive emotional meltdown, or so I hoped. Seeing her walk in was rough. She looked tired, sad, but also, there was something else. A kind of resolve. It wasn't the shattered, heartbroken woman I guess I half expected, or maybe selfishly wanted to see. The conversation was brutal. Awkward at first, then painfully honest. She apologized again, profusely. She cried a bit. She said she never intended for any of this to happen. So, Jake, I finally asked, cutting through the apologies, when did this irresistible pull start? She winced. It wasn't a sudden thing, Mike. It was slow, creeping. For maybe 6, 7 months? At first, I dismissed it. I love you, or I loved the life we had, the comfort. You. I told myself it was just because he was your best friend, that I admired your bond, that I was just fond of him as a friend. Fond, I asked, my voice tight. Okay, more than fond, she admitted, looking down. There were moments, little things. The way he'd laugh, or how he'd get passionate talking about something, or how he'd sometimes just get what I was trying to say without me finishing the sentence. Things I told myself were just friendly observations. I felt sick. 6, 7 months. She'd been having these feelings, wrestling with them, all while we were planning our future, talking about houses, saying I love you. It felt like our whole relationship for the past half year had been a lie. And you never thought to, I don't know, talk to me about it, I asked, or create some distance from him, or end things with me, if you were so damn pulled. How could I? She said, tears welling up again. How do you tell your boyfriend you think you're falling for his best friend? I was terrified. I was ashamed. I kept hoping it would pass. I genuinely thought I could make it work with you, that these feelings for Jake were a fleeting distraction. So our prank, I said, bitterness lacing my words. That was your green light? No, not a green light, she insisted. When you said you wanted to break up, it hurt, Mike. It really did. But underneath the hurt, there was this tiny, awful flicker of relief. Like the universe was making a decision I was too cowardly to make. And when Jake called, and he was so kind, so understanding, it just all came pouring out. I didn't plan it. It just happened. So, what now? I asked. You and Jake? Are you? She took a deep breath. Jake told me he needed space, that he wouldn't, that he couldn't, because of you. And I respect that. I do. But Mike, she looked me straight in the eye. I can't lie anymore. Not to you. Not to myself. My feelings for him are real. And they're strong. If he ever felt the same. Or decided he could. I don't know. I can't make any promises about what I wouldn't do. That was the nail in the coffin for me. Any lingering idiotic hope that this was all a huge misunderstanding, that she'd realized she made a mistake, just evaporated. She was choosing the possibility of him over the reality of what we had. I just nodded. Okay. I think I've heard enough. I stood up, paid for my untouched coffee, and walked out. I didn't look back. That was the last time I spoke to Sarah. Closure? I don't know. It felt more like watching someone set fire to the last page of our story. Now for Jake, this one's more complicated. After my coffee shop chat with Sarah, I was a wreck. I called Jake. I didn't yell. I was too exhausted. I just told him what she said, about her feelings being real and strong, about her waiting for him, essentially. He was quiet for a long time. Mike, he finally said, I told you before I'm not going to hurt you like that. Sarah, she's a great woman, but you're my best friend, you're my brother. That has to mean something more. Does it, Jake? I asked. Because from where I'm standing, it feels like I've lost both of you. You haven't lost me, he insisted. But I get why you feel that way. Look, I need to be honest with you too, because you deserve that much after all this bullshit. When Sarah confessed to me, and then later when I really thought about it, yeah, there's an attraction. There, I said it. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's funny. We connect. It would be a lie to say I feel nothing. But that doesn't mean I'm going to act on it. His honesty, paradoxically, hurt more than if he'd just lied and said he felt nothing, because it confirmed it. There was something there. Our stupid prank didn't create it. It just brought it to light. So, what are you saying? I asked. I'm saying, he said slowly, that I value our friendship more than a potential relationship with Sarah. But I also can't pretend that what she said and what I've reluctantly admitted to myself doesn't change things. It's out there now, and it's fucking awkward and painful. We talked for a long time that night, more honest than we've probably ever been. He reiterated that he would not pursue Sarah. He seemed genuine. He looked haunted by the whole thing, like he was also grieving the loss of our uncomplicated, easy friendship. The outcome? Our friendship is on life support. We've seen each other a couple of times since then in group settings with other friends who are all, by the way, walking on eggshells around us. It's strained, awkward. Every laugh, every shared memory is now tainted by this giant unspoken elephant in the room. Can it be repaired? I honestly don't know. Maybe time will heal it. Maybe it won't. I heard through the grapevine, because our town isn't that big and people talk, that Sarah moved into a new apartment on the other side of town. She's keeping a low profile. Jake is too. Mostly. I don't know if they're in contact. I haven't asked. I don't want to know. As for me, I'm surviving. Some days are better than others. I've thrown myself into work, started hitting the gym again, reconnected with some old hobbies. I'm trying to rebuild. The anger has mostly faded into a dull ache of sadness and disappointment. The biggest lesson learned: don't play stupid games with people's emotions, especially not your own. My insecurity in that monumentally idiotic prank cost me my relationship and quite possibly my best friendship. I own my part in that. I was a fool. But Sarah and Jake, they have their own culpability. Her for harboring those feelings and not being honest sooner. Him for, well, for being the object of her affection and potentially reciprocating. Even if he won't act on it, it's a mess all around. So, that's the saga. No neat bow, no happy ending. Just a lot of broken pieces and a long road ahead. Maybe one day I'll look back on this and laugh. But today is not that day, not by a long shot. TLDR update 2. Met with Sarah. She confirmed strong feelings for Jake and basically said she'd be open to him if he ever changed his mind. Last time we spoke, Jake admitted an attraction to Sarah but insists our friendship means more and he won't pursue her. Friendship with Jake is severely strained. Future uncertain. Relationship with Sarah is definitively over. I'm trying to move on. Pranks are bad.